And welcome to college football, presented by Dr. Pepper. The Horned Frogs at home for the first time in 28 days and in desperate need of a victory as Iowa State comes calling here in this battle in the Big 12. Well, great to have you with us tonight. A picture-perfect evening for college football in the Metroplex. It was just 1 year ago back in Ames, Iowa, where the Cyclones pulled off the upset. 14-7 the final score. Hakeem Butler, an early touchdown to give Iowa State a 2-touchdown advantage. Then the red zone defense of Iowa State proving too tough to tame. A couple of turnovers against Kenny Hill, and that was all that was needed for Iowa State to knock TCU off from the ranks of the undefeated. Number 4 went down. A huge win for Matt Campbell and company. Can they do it again? We're about to find out. Great to have you with us as always. Tom Ramsey, Roy Philpott, and TCU, Tom, in desperate need of a win tonight to keep its Big 12 hopes alive.
Well, think about this, Roy. Both teams are coached in very similar fashion. It's paramount that they pay attention to details. But when you look at TCU on the offensive side of the ball tonight, they have 2 running backs, Shewo Olanalua and Darius Anderson. I think it provides one of the best 1-2 punches in all the Big 12. They are dynamic when they have the ball in their hands, and I expect them to eat up a lot of clock tonight and keep it away from Iowa State.
Yeah, meanwhile, for Iowa State, you talk about the Cyclones, the beast in white, number 18 tonight, Hakeem Butler. The comparisons are out there, the players like Terrell Owens, and Tom, he may be bigger than the great T.O.
Well, when you think about what makes a great receiver, Roy, you know, the height, the weight, the speed, but I think there's one imperative factor for great receivers, and it's the run after catch. Hakeem Butler, one of the best in the country, averaging over 21 yards a catch so far this year. Watch out when 18 gets the ball in his hands.
6'6", 225 as ISU won the coin toss and deferred. You see Cavante Turpin, one of the top kick returners in the country. He's accounted for 5 special teams touchdowns in his career. Chris Francis will kick things off for the Cyclones. With whiteout conditions here tonight. Packed house expected after TCU returns home after back-to-back losses against Ohio State and Texas. Underway inside the Carter. And confusion on the return for a moment ahead to the 25. As DeMercado with the short return, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Horned Frogs. Our first look at Sean Robinson, the sophomore, making career start number 6 tonight out of DeSoto, Texas, and presumed to be one of the top recruits ever signed in the quarterback position here in Fort Worth. Turnovers have been a problem in the second half of his games this year. In fact, all 5 of his interceptions have occurred in the final 2 quarters. And Gary Patterson, offensive play caller Sonny Cumbie, trying to change that here tonight.
Well, that's what hurt him last year in Ames, Roy. 3 crucial turnovers by TCU.
Tunnel screen, Turpin, and a gain of 5. Call it 6 on first down. Stopped by Marcel Spears.
When you look at the recipe for both teams, it's play great defense and control the clock with the run game and get into third down situations, and that's exactly what they want to do tonight. I think it's a heavyweight match that you don't want to miss.
Shewo Olanalua gets the handoff straight ahead. A punishing runner. He'll have a first down for TCU. Lawrence White belted him down. Not before he picked up 5.
I thought the most revealing thing that came out of our meetings, I'll tell you in a moment.
Olanalua probing, this time bottled up, driven backwards after a gain of 2.
I think when Sonny Cumbie, you asked him what would you have done different last year in Ames, he said, I need to be more patient with the run game. And that's from the offensive coordinator who is calling the plays. And Olanalua is such a big load, 230-pounder. I mean, he can punish tacklers. And Sonny Cumbie even said, hey, we might give it to him 3 times in a row. Don't be surprised.
Tommy played a little outside linebacker in high school down in Houston. That kind of physicality needed for TCU this year. This time Robinson out of the shotgun. RPO, and that one bobbled from the onset. He's going to lose a yard. Ray Lima ready and waiting to blow that play up.
Well, and Iowa State's not going to make a lot of mistakes.
Number 33 being sent out of the game.
Sonny
for knee
Cumbie
pads
up in the
that
box.
are failure to be in compliance.
The OC. He's also the guy that took down Aaron Rodgers in the 2014 Holiday Bowl. How about that? He got MVP honors for Texas Tech, slinging it around the field. Another Mike Leach protege.
Texas Tech losing at home today earlier to West Virginia. Critical Big 12 matchup as the Mountaineers remain undefeated. Empty backfield. The opening possession of the game. Cyclone showing pressure. Robinson steps into it. Incomplete. That pass sailed high for Jalen Rager. And the Cyclones defense running that odd front, stopping Gary Patterson and company on their opening possession.
Well, interesting. They show blitz and they rush 3 and spy a 4th. So they really kind of backed out of it and played a lot of coverage deep. So they put the pressure on Sean Robinson that time and unable to make the throw.
Here's Andrew David, the transfer from Michigan, who actually spent some time with Iowa State quarterback Kyle Kempt in high school. Milton fields it at the 21 and lassoed out of bounds around the 25. That's a punt of 38 and a late flag as well on the field. So Iowa State should have pretty good field position, assuming that's a personal foul.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Kicking team, number 1. 15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
Take a look. Punt returner gets the ball, and then he goes out of bounds, and then, wow, that's a punishing blow there.
Juwan Johnson.
Yep, Juwan Johnson. Yep, grad transfer from Northern Illinois. He plays fast. He's in a lot of special teams tackle right there, though, a costly one.
Butler at the bottom of your screen on first down. Man-to-man coverage, play action for Zeb Nolan. He'll go the opposite way as the pass is caught by Matthew Eaton. Stopped by Julius Lewis. Quality pickup on first down.
Yeah, Zeb Nolan forced into play with the injury to Kyle Kemp. And, you know, Nolan's put up good numbers, 69% thrower. He's been accurate. He hasn't turned the ball over a whole lot. I just think in this game, you got to be able to push the ball down the field. That's how you beat TCU. You got to hope they make a mistake in coverage.
Strong second effort by Montgomery. And second and short. He'll make it third down and a little over 2. There's a look at Kyle Kemp. MCL injury against Iowa. They're hoping he's going to be back sooner rather than later.
His leadership's really shown through, helping out Zeb Nolan in the quarterback room, even though he's hurt.
Crowd on its feet on third down. Nolan. Pass is caught. That's Butler, and that'll move the chains.
Well, there's Hakeem Butler, and you know he's not screaming down the field at 30 yards catching a pass. He's actually working underneath and just moving away from the defender and just giving Zeb Nolan a nice pocket to throw to.
Nolan again using tempo, looking for Eaton. Iowa State with one of the more difficult schedules in the country coming into this game tonight, especially in league play. Opening up with Oklahoma in Ames, and then on the road at TCU tonight. And Matt Campbell playing the two teams that fought for the Big 12 championship a year ago right out of the gate. That's Kohler in motion in place of the injured Chase Allen. Montgomery directing traffic into plus territory. Throws at Broadnax with a hit.
Well, you bring up a good point schedule-wise, Roy. Think about this. Last year, they knocked off Oklahoma, who was 3rd ranked in the country. TCU was 4th ranked in the country last year. That was 2 of their 3 wins against ranked teams. So Matt Campbell knows how to play these heavyweight games, and they played great against OU, but right now they're giving TCU a little business, short 3rd and 4.
Nolan wants to go deep. There's Butler in the pass. 2 yards in front of his outstretched hands. Jeff Gladney in coverage.
Well, and Gladney does a great job, stride for stride with Butler that time. And I think you have to take a couple shots deep if you're Iowa State.
Do you roll the dice this early on 4th down?
They're thinking about it, and you know, I personally, I'd punt it away. I think in a game like this, if it was the 4th quarter, you betcha I'd go for it. Right now, you got to feel really good about your 4th and 4 play you're going to call.
Well, don't you love the Big 12? 5 minutes in, they're going for it on 4th down. Nolan with a pocket off his back foot, and it's incomplete. Trying to spot DeShante Jones. Ty Summers made him get rid of that one a little earlier than he wanted to. And 42 in purple, a nice play.
Ball came out a little bit high, too high for Jones. And I just think, Roy, going for it there on 4th and 4, yeah, they're rolling the dice, but it's awfully tough. But if you're Iowa State and you're here at a whiteout in Fort Worth, you might as well go for it.
TCU really recruiting at a different level these last couple of seasons. Rager, the number 6 wide receiver in the country. According to ESPN, empty backfield. Robinson on the keeper. Sandwiched quickly. Mike Rose, the freshman, brought him down after a short pickup. Inside give, Alanalua. And on 2nd down, he'll gain 4. Greg Eisworth, his 2nd tackle. And 3rd down and manageable coming up for the Horned Frogs once again as time winds down in our 1st quarter.
Well, it's interesting, you know, TCU comes out 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, and they're completely spread. So in a 3-by-2, they're in 10 personnel, 1 running back, 4 wideouts. You'd expect them to throw the ball here.
Robinson. A screen pass. Alanalua needed 4. He gained 7. Spears and Peavy combined to make the stop.
Well, and Alanalua on the tackle, he ends up pretty much running over his own man. Jerison Stewart, pardon me, was really, he got nailed on the play, but Alanalua doing a great job getting enough for the 1st down, and he just, hot concept. They just have trouble picking him up, and then you see Stewart kind of get run over by the pile.
Show me the way, Shewo. Minute remaining here in the 1st. We expected it to be one of those throwback, old-school, slug-em-out kind of affairs. Darius Anderson, his first touch into plus territory. Well, Alanalua with the power, Anderson the speed. He reeled off a 93-yard touchdown against Ohio State just 2 weeks ago, Tom.
Yeah, and that 93-yarder, Roy, was the longest. It's a TCU record. You think about this, he outran, you know, LaDainian Tomlinson's top 2 marks. And it was also the longest run ever against an Ohio State defense.
Now, there was some concern earlier in the week that he was banged up. It appears to be healthy tonight after a gain of 12. Anderson again. He'll gain 2. Spencer Benton, the former walk-on defensive end, with a tackle. It could be the final play of our 1st quarter. And in fact, it will be.
And we'll bring it into the 1st quarter. Our score, TCU 0, Iowa State 0.
Well, it's not Texas Tech, West Virginia, but if you like defense, it's a rare find in the Big 12. We have it here tonight. Inside the Carter on Family Weekend, TCU and Iowa State scoreless after 15 minutes here in Fort Worth. Fear the Frog back in Fort Worth. TCU football plus territory. Here to start our 2nd quarter. Tom Ramsey, Roy Philpott on site for this Big 12 battle. High snap, and Anderson tripped up behind the line. Jaquan Bailey, preseason all Big 12, got there to lead the charge.
Well, and all of a sudden, you know, you have 2nd and 8, and you have something going good. Then you have a bad snap. Now it's going to be, you know, 3rd and 13. But what TCU elected to do that time, Roy, going against that 30-stack defense, they brought in 2 tights and put 2 wides out. So they were trying to just hammer the ball away. Right now they're forced with having to throw it, and they got to be careful with the ball here at midfield.
3rd down and long. Robinson flush, lost the football. The scramble for it. Iowa State recovers. Jaquan Bailey The fumble recovery. Iowa State 1st and 10 deep in TCU territory.
Well, the thing about these two teams, they're both really well coached, but both defensive coaches really look forward to 3rd and longs, because what can happen? Well, you can pin your ears back and you can rush the passer. They do just that. They come blazing up the A gap, jar the ball out of Robinson's hands, and then it's just a free-for-all for the ball.
Will McDonald, a backup defensive lineman, and they've got plenty up in Ames. Punch the football out of there. Big number 99 in white. And the first turnover of this contest. Montgomery makes a cut. And he'll gain 3 on 1st down. Garrett Wallow, the tackle. Little turnover belt hiding somewhere over there on the Iowa State sideline. I don't know that we're going to see many of those for TCU, but for the Cyclones.
Boy, and it was just a great play. Heads up defensive play. Jaquan Bailey comes up with the ball. Big time play.
Braxton Lewis created that belt several weeks ago. Had an interception last week in the win against Akron as Montgomery dives his way ahead to the 12-yard line. That'll be a 1st down. Ben Banigou, preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, credited with his first stop.
Yeah, Banigou, who's a captain for TCU today, barely got him down, Roy. I thought David Montgomery just was patient. He waited till the hole developed, and then he just put his foot in the ground and just went north and south. And that's just good, hard running by number 32. Butler up on top of the screen.
Play action. Butler. Incomplete, and there's a flag. That's going to be pass interference. Julius Lewis getting physical with the 6'6", 225-pound target. That's a tough play.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24, in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic 1st down.
So remember what Gary Patterson told us. I asked him, I said, hey, you know, last year Philpott and I had you against SMU. Cortland Sutton, who might be the steal in the draft, this year's NFL draft, going 2nd round, 40th pick, Denver Broncos. Hakeem Butler is that same sort of player. I mean, he's a bona fide #1 pick looking kind of guy. I want to know where Butler is all the time, but if I'm the quarterback, Roy, I'm circling 18. He's going to get about 10 or 12 targets per game.
Unbalanced line. Montgomery, the power formation, stood up, driven backwards, no gain. Jawan Johnson, 1 in purple, led the charge for TCU.
Oh, nice play that time by TCU. And the one guy TCU misses on the interior, defensive tackle Ross Blacklock. He redshirted earlier in his career. He tore his Achilles in fall camp. They just missed that load in the middle. Bethley, though, playing big. L.J. Collier, number 91, really having to play well today.
Power formation again for the Cyclones. Play action. End zone. Touchdown, Iowa State. Well, Chase Allen injured, the starting tight end, Charlie Kohler.
Officials, timeout for an injured player.
Able to corral that in the back of the end zone. He absorbed a massive shot in the process, Tom.
Yeah, Kohler, nice play action. They got to respect the play action of Montgomery. Kohler makes the play and then just gets drilled. Really took a big shot. Vernon Scott, number 26, the safety, but great job by Nolan that time. Just finding his tight end in the back, right along the back line of the end zone. Matt Campbell, when he loses the turnover margin in a game, they're only 2-9. And think about this, last year, 1 fumble the entire year, and it came in their bowl game.
First career reception for Charlie Kohler. Reaches pay dirt. The turnover forced by McDonald, recovered by Bailey. And Iowa State setting up shop deep in TCU territory. Play action pass. Touchdown Cyclones. 7-0 ISU. Early surprise in Fort Worth. 7-0 Iowa State. Tay Barber back deep to receive the ensuing kickoff. And the Iowa State Cyclones tight ends have been weapons this season, even with Chase Allen not making the trip tonight. Barber from the 5. Redshirt freshman brought down, crossing the 15. 12 minutes remaining in our first half. Tom Ramsey, Roy Philpott, and the pressure mounting now for number 3 in purple, Sean Robinson. Tunnel screen across the 20 and a gain of 5 on first down. So Devontae Turpin with his second catch.
They do want to get the ball to Turpin for sure. He might be the fastest player on the field and such a dynamic player with the ball in his hands. But, you know, they're going to have to drive the ball downfield, too. I think Sean Robinson, you know, Iowa State wants to keep everything in front of them. So if you throw to the flats and you throw to the perimeter, that's exactly what they want you to do.
Play action. Turpin keeps the play alive. A punishing hit at the 45 on what should be targeting against Gatrone Young.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 25.
And Young came in with the face mask, but it was close to the crown.
Well, interesting. You know, it's a bang-bang play. Turpin was struggling to break free, and he almost did. And he was in the grasp of a player. Yeah, you can't call him defenseless, but, man, he took a shot.
Turpin walking off the field. He'll head to the locker room on first down. Robinson picks up 3.
Well, they call roughing the passer now in the NFL for pushing a guy down on the ground. So I'm actually surprised that flag, you know, kind of gets waved off.
I mean, Clay Matthews on at least 2 occasions this year called for roughing the passer for the Packers. I've had more illegal contact in breakfast at times than what he's shown the NFL quarterbacks.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
All you quarterbacks are just alike. Robinson avoids one tackler, ushered out of bounds in plus territory. Marcel Spears probably should have brought him down after a short gain. And instead, he's close to a first down.
Well, and Eisworth, the free safety, top tackler on the team, ends up making the play. Actually, he might be considered the strong safety in that defense, but number 12 sure comes quick. What can you do for me? Well, how about your center, Kelton Hollins, helping out Robinson, getting a shoe time.
Turpin not on the playing surface for the meantime. Olana Lewis straight ahead. White is 4th tackle, but not before TCU picks up a first down.
Nice play call that time by Sonny Cumbie, getting the ball to Olana Lewis. Quick snap.
Olana bounces it outside. Sit out after a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 for the Horned Frogs. He'll set up the screen. Rager. There's the speed. Makes a move. Jalen Rager. First down TCU all the way to the 12-yard line. That's a gain of 20 yards and the biggest play of the night for the Horned Frogs.
How about Rager? Again, give him a target, because when he catches it, it's exciting. He makes things happen. And number 1's a good player. Little slip screen. Loved it.
Co-offensive freshman of the year last season in the Big 12, Jalen Rager, 1 in purple. Anderson probing outside. Inside the 10, Benton the stop. So TCU using tempo with Turpin not on the field, and it's worked fairly well.
Got a big tight end, Lynn, coming back on.
That's Artavius Lynn.
Yeah, down in the red zone, they like 11 personnel.
Robinson perfect on this drive. Floats it. Rager bottled up quickly. Braxton Lewis, the walk-on, wrestled him down.
2 big keys for Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator. He shared with us yesterday 2 things. 1, they have to protect the football, and they have to score TDs when they get in the red zone.
Number 33, failure to have knee pads in compliance.
They have 5 wides on the field.
DeMarcado, the running back. He'll fling it out to the freshman Barber. Steps outside. Touchdown. Second touchdown in the young career of Tay Barber, a freshman out of Cypress, Texas.
Yeah, they love Tay Barber, and they love his speed. Boy, when he gets the ball, he knows where pay dirt is.
And how about the response by the Horned Frogs after the Iowa State 22-yard scoring drive? TCU ties it up with Tay Barber taking care of business. First-year player dodges outside. We're tied at 7 halfway through the second quarter. TCU, Iowa State tied at 7 apiece. Tom Ramsey, Roy Philpott back inside the Carter. Tay Barber, second career touchdown grab moments ago. And a good one brewing here in the Big 12. It'll be 1st and 10 for Iowa State.
We know all about Gary Patterson, right? He puts together some of the best defenses in the country year in, year out. But Matt Campbell, I'll tell you what, he'll keep Patterson up at night a few nights of the week.
4-man front for the Horned Frogs on first down. Nolan fires it. Butler has it. And a nifty move for a gain of 11. Akeem Butler, just at his size, it's almost like playing basketball. He grabs the rebound and just uses the body to position the defensive back out of the picture.
That's where the big fella is so good. It's the run after catch and the ability to avoid tacklers.
Nolan goes deep. A late flag on the field. Tariq Milton.
Wow, I think on the replay on this,
Vernon Scott in coverage, 26 in
Pass
purple.
interference. Defense, number 26. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. An automatic first down.
so they'll pick up a flag that I think is an absolute penalty, and then they'll throw a flag where, I mean, you know, it's defensive back receiver jostling a little bit. Stewart gets his head turned around. Once you turn your head around, you can't throw a flag. You didn't even touch him. Let him play.
And I would tend to agree. Now in TCU territory. Here come the Cyclones. Inside give, Johnny Lang. And a scat back. And pick up 2, call it 3.
This is, if you're TCU's defense, this is when you need to make a big play right here. Second and 7. And Gary Patterson, you know, this is where also he may dial up a blitz, and he wants to get them back on their heels a little bit, but I think you got to respect the man up at the top of the screen, Hakeem Butler.
Butler with 2 grabs tonight for just 14 yards. That's Kohler in motion, so the backup tight end appears to be okay.
One of the things Patterson does to those good receivers, he always has a safety over the top.
Nolan with time across the middle, a dangerous toss. Trying to spot Butler. Gladney had him blanketed.
Gladney had him blanketed, and then Issa Haku, the safety, was over the top of Butler that time. Even though Butler ran the square in, he just breaks the route off. He's got help over the top, so Gladney knows he can take a risk there, stick his hand in and try and knock the ball away, which he did. Nice play by Gladney.
On third down. Here comes the pressure. Screen. Crony. Will be stopped short. Well, a nifty move initially. Ty Summers, a.k.a. Captain America, with a critical tackle on third down.
Ty Summers, former quarterback in high school. came and has played a multitude of positions for TCU. They're going to possibly go for it here. They're thinking about it. They'll bring the punt team, but rarely does Ty Summers miss a tackle in the open field, Roy. But he was able to come back, redirect, and come back and make the hit and the tackle.
And for a moment, it looked as if Matt Campbell was going to go for it. Jalen Reagor, the new punt returner, with Turpin in the TCU locker room. End over end punt by Corey Dunn, fielded at the 15. Punt of 34 yards. TCU takes over in a tie game. After this. Robinson with time. Reagor at the 48 after a gain of 20. Add 17 more, and here comes TCU.
Tell you what I love about him, and you know this. I talk a lot about this, keeping his eyes down the field. He does not watch the rush. His eyes are down the field. He has great feel of the pocket, so he's able to move without really running fast, but he just has great athleticism, but his eyes are everything.
John Robinson indicating that Sonny Cumbie was one of the main reasons he came to TCU. That relationship very strong in the recruiting process. Now going back to the early part of the summer, looking good. Coach P. Darius Anderson on the swing pass, ushered out around the 47. And Tom Gary telling us he lost a lot of weight playing golf at the end of May. It was a hot afternoon. He said, you know what, I'm not really feeling all that great. He experienced a little numbness in his lower body, and he said, I'm going to have to lose some weight. So he's really done a great job the last couple of months backing away from the sodas, trying to listen to the doctors and to his great wife and family. He's feeling better. Here's Robinson off his back foot. Dangerous toss down the field. And incomplete. Darius Davis, the intended target. Braxton Lewis, the walk-on, with contact. But the pass just hung up in the air forever. And it really became any man's football at that point in time.
Well, you said it. He made a mistake. He threw off his back foot. He got tackled. And Braxton Lewis pretty much face guards him. I mean, I'm not sure, Roy, how a flag doesn't come out. Like, what are you looking at if you're the back judge? You have one responsibility.
Quickly. Pitch and catch to the 38. That'll bring up third down after a short gain. Eisworth the tackle as Jarrison Stewart makes his second catch of the night. TCU 7 of 10 on third down this evening.
And we've had this crew before this year. I actually think they do a good job, but boy, he just flat out missed the play.
All kinds of time for Robinson. Passes batted in the air and incomplete. Jaquan Bailey, who has a fumble recovery earlier tonight, got a mid on it, swatted that one away, Tom.
Now, and here you're definitely a little pressure. TCU, 2 remaining timeouts, 45 seconds.
You're going to go for it.
Yeah, I think why not, Roy? You got 2 timeouts, so, and Iowa State has 2 timeouts.
TCU electing to punt. So Gary Patterson thinking about field position here. Andrew David send that one into the end zone.
I think, you know, they go back and they look at those 2 games, Roy, against Texas and against Ohio State. They were leading both those games at halftime, and that resonates with a head coach. You don't want to make silly mistakes and hurt yourself.
What will be the final play of our first half. TCU outgains Iowa State 173 yards to 81. But the turnover, as Will McDonald forced the fumble, help even things up. And Gary Patterson here at home for the first time in 28 days wants to see more. Matt Campbell got to be pleased on the road so far, Tom.
Well, you know, you're neck and neck with a tough team. Home game for TCU. They've been tough. They've played some really top teams tough, but you know, again, I think the team that makes the least amount of mistakes in the second half ends up winning this ball game.
Packed house in the Carter. We're tied at 7. Iowa State and TCU Good old-fashioned grudge match here in the heart of the Big 12. Halftime report coming up. Welcome to college football, presented by Dr. Pepper. Inside Amon G. Carter Stadium. Battle in the Big 12. As we start our second half, Iowa State and TCU tied at 7. Cyclones at 1-2. TCU at 2-2. Both teams winless in the Big 12 as we take a look at highlights from our first 30 minutes. Really the play of our first half. McDonald forcing the fumble. Bailey jumps on it. And then just 3 plays later, the play-action touchdown pass to the backup tight end. Charlie Kohler gave the Cyclones an early 7-0 advantage before TCU came roaring back. It was Tay Barber from 10 yards out on 3rd down and long for the Horned Frogs on a nice drive, culminating in 7 points. And really, that's it in terms of scoring after the first 2 quarters. As you take a look at our stats, Tom, anything stand out?
Yeah, the fact that Iowa State hasn't had the ball for long. They haven't had a lot of production on offense, and there was one crucial mistake by TCU on the fumble.
Nwangu on our second half kickoff takes it all the way out to the 46-yard line. So outstanding field position for the Cyclones and head coach Matt Campbell to start this second half.
Yeah, I think they go in at halftime, Roy, and they figured out, hey, listen, we were not productive with the ball in the first half, getting only 76 yards on 24 plays, 10:30 in time of possession. TCU almost doubled it, but again, that Iowa State defense playing opportunistic, making the play on a 3rd down. Will McDonald, great forced fumble, and then they were able to convert it into points.
Kene Nwangu, the 45-yard kickoff return. Here comes Iowa State as our 3rd quarter is officially underway. Swing pass, Jones makes a move into TCU territory. He's ushered out at the 48 by Ty Summers. Zeb Nolan, a quality start so far, filling in for the injured Kyle Kemp, the 6-year senior, and Nolan, just a redshirt sophomore out of Georgia. Tommy's a former 3-star prospect, according to ESPN, chose the Cyclones over App State and Toledo. 8 of 14 through the air. Has managed the game nicely up to this point. Pressure off the edge. Nolan, the pump fake, lost the handle. Picked up by Banigou. And there he goes far side. The preseason Big 12 Player of the Year for the touchdown.
Well, I thought Gary Patterson might dial up a blitz early on, and indeed, he did just that.
Corey Bethley applying the pressure. What a start to his sophomore season he's had. The sophomore from Katy, Texas. The ball was on the ground. It felt like forever before Banigou scooped it up.
Yeah, before Bethley drilled Nolan, it was Ennis Gaines, number 6. They brought the strong safety off the edge, unblocked, and it just created enough pressure where Nolan just had the ball knocked out of his hands.
Song's extra point splits the pipes, and our new score at 14-7. Ben Banigou.
Well, these games are always spun on a dime, right? And what we do know this, Ben Banigou, he can run. Because once he picked up the ball, he was getting out. Watch the right side of the screen. Ennis Gaines, that's him jumping up in the air. Nolan steps up. He steps right into a hard hit by Bethley. And then it's all Banigou, number 15, outrunning Cyclones into the end zone. And see Gaines come up. He just makes Nolan pump fake, almost like he dropped the ball, because Gaines was on him so quick, and then Banigou taking it to the house.
And what did Gary Patterson tell us when we asked him specifically to assess Ben Banigou's play through the first month of the season? He said, you know what, Tom and Roy, he needs to be more like Coach P. Right now, he's like Gary. Well, Gary, I think now he's a little bit more like Coach P after that
number
play.
21 TCU reporting as number 36.
And the alter ego of Gary Patterson coming to the forefront once again.
Yeah, well, Gary Patterson, he just knows that, you know, you get into those long second down situations and you can spin up a blitz. And, you know, I asked Coach Patterson, I said, it looks like you're playing man, you're playing some zone, you're blitzing, you're playing zone blitz, you're playing match. He goes, yeah, we're doing all of it. He goes, and I keep continuing to mix it up because I never want the offense to know what I'm doing, and I won't show them 2 blitzes in a row. Although, I'm sure he's done it before, but man, he could dial it up, and he did just now.
In a brand new ball game for Iowa State, now trailing for the first time tonight. Pass on first down across the middle. That's his running back, Johnny Lang, who darts ahead for a first down. Ty Summers and his gains combined to make the stop, but not before he gained 10.
Well, let's go back to Hakeem Butler, number 18, too. He comes into this game, 14 catches, almost 300 yards, averaging 21 yards a catch. And in the last 2 games alone, he had 11 catches for 262 and 3 touchdowns. So I think you got to give him some targets here in the second half. He has 4 tonight.
Only 2 receptions for Hakeem Butler. Here comes pressure. Right up the gut. Nolan. Down he goes. Garrett Wallow, a sophomore from New Orleans, rode him down to the turf.
Well, Garrett Wallow used to be a defensive back in this defense. And then in spring ball, they kind of noticed he's pretty quick to the ball. Then in fall practice, they were like, hey, listen, let's move 30 closer to the line of scrimmage. I mean, he explodes to the ball that time, a little green dog blitz. He comes shooting from that Mike linebacker position and just makes the sack in the backfield.
Second of the night for TCU and a loss of 7. 4-man front for the Horned Frogs. He'll set up the screen. Jones has nowhere to run, brought down short of the 30. Wallow again the tackle.
So the premium on TCU's defense, you got to be a great athlete to play for the Horned Frogs defense. Secondly, you got to be one fast guy. I'm telling you, you got to be able to run, and they'll develop you, but you got to come in with speed. And they got 100 recruits here at the game tonight. There's also about 25 pro scouts watching the game.
3rd and long. Crowd on its feet. Pocket collapses. Nolan trying to spot Layden Akers in the seam and overshot Akers by about 5 or 10 yards.
Well, Akers, again, probably not your guy you want to throw deep to and target, but again, he drew some coverage down the middle. Anytime the ball's late down the middle, it can be disastrous, and I think Nolan gets away with one there.
Corey Dunn will punt it. Jalen Rager. And a fast start in the 3rd quarter for the first time perhaps all season for TCU. High grab by Rager. Little shake and bake out of bounds around the 40 after a punt of 43.
Well, defense and speed on defense really making the play right there. Wallow almost tearing the wristband off the quarterback, Zeb Nolan, trying to rip the ball out of his hands. TCU up 14-7.
14-7, TCU out in front of Iowa State. Sean Robinson back on the field on first down. Alanalua taken down after a gain of 1. It was Arike, his first tackle of the night. And tell you what, he's running behind this massive offensive line. Gary Patterson's done a great job recruiting tackles the last couple of years, sending those players into the NFL. And the rest of the Big 12, take note, this offensive front about as big as you're going to find in this conference.
Well, the 2 bookend tackles, McKinney and Niang, are just enormous human beings. They are huge men, and they got great feet. And as you said, they send the most tackles of any college program into the to the NFL level. But those 2 big guys they're dealing right now up front. I mean, again, Iowa State, only 3 down linemen. So you got angles if you're that tackle, that offensive tackle. And both Niang has had a nice game, and McKinney, who's still learning to play that left tackle position, really doing a nice job. Here's a look at all the tackles that have gone on to the next level. Marcus Cannon, one of the great players to come out of TCU.
You quarterbacks love tackles. That's one thing I've learned over the years.
Vaitai with the Eagles. I mean, there are some guys there that, you know, have been really note boom with the Rams. Well, the Rams are pretty good too this year.
Cyclones need a stop. Robinson with time fires it complete. Artavius Lynn his first catch and the 3rd of the season. That's enough for a first down.
And Artavius Lynn says he just sits over the ball. He has a great route. Ball comes out quick enough by Sean Robinson. They know exactly where to go, how far to go for the first down. He just sticks the ball in.
Jalen Reagor back on the field, 1 in purple, top of your screen. Anderson sheds a tackler and another, and the spin. A gain of 6. Peavy with the stop. TCU driving.
TCU starting to put some nice combination of plays together. Again, Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator, gives a lot of check with me's to Sean Robinson, so he has the ability to check at the line of scrimmage, work away from numbers or some of that stack in their defense, and doing a masterful job right now at the line of scrimmage.
12th play of the drive. Anderson up the gut. Be spotted a yard short. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
And they're 9 of 14 on 3rd down tonight, so they've really improved their 3rd down numbers. And it just makes it tough when you go for it on 4th down, as they did a moment ago, and they get that first. To have a 12 and 13 and 14 play drive, that's when you really tire out a defense.
Shewo Olanalua checks back in. He'll flank Robinson to his left. Only needed a yard. And on 3rd down, it'll come down to the spot once again. Marcel Spears got there first.
I think they might spot him a little short, yeah. Another 4th down. Boy, Olanalua, though, he gets good push, lowers that pad level.
You don't kick the field goal here?
You know, Roy, I think they want to keep this drive going. I just think it's Gary Patterson having confidence in the offensive side of the ball, saying, hey, you got a good game plan, stay with it. Keep the chains moving.
Let's see if John Haycock crowds the line of scrimmage on 4th down. Anderson bottled up. Did he get there? The second effort will keep the drive alive.
And they had 9 guys in the box. They sold out to stop the run that time. And Coach Haycock for the Cyclones, they're filling every gap. There's a slight missed tackle on the edge, and it just allows enough space for Darius Anderson to sneak through, get an extra yard on that second effort. First down, Horned Frogs.
Boy, Annie Uwazurike had an opportunity. Greg Eisworth did as well. Credit Anderson with that second effort. In the box again, Robinson off the back foot, lofts it end zone and out of bounds. Looking for Jalen Austin. DeAndre Payne in coverage.
Jalen Austin, one of the strong guys of this team. He, Darius Anderson, Olanalua kind of put a record on their weight room once in a while. Those guys are benching 400 pounds, squatting 700. You wouldn't think of it, but Reagor, of course, back in the game.
16th play of the drive. Play action Robinson. Tight end Lynn is open. There he goes, trying to hurdle the defender, coughs it up. Iowa State football.
The rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
Orion Vance on the bottom of the pile corralled it. And that's a catch and a fumble, the second turnover of the night for TCU.
You know what I say on these plays, Roy? Sometimes, Artavius Lynn, maybe he's watching too much TV. If he's watching the Buffalo Bills last weekend and watches Josh Allen hurdle a defender at midfield on 3rd down for a first down for the Buffalo Bills, I think Lynn right here tuck the ball, protect the ball if you're TCU. Big turnover. 16th play of the drive. DeAndre Payne tries to leap over DeAndre Payne, and Artavius Lynn fumbles the ball and recovered by Iowa State. Huge turnovers. Been 2 fumbles tonight, Roy, and both of them have been by TCU.
On first down, Cyclones take over. Montgomery straight ahead for a short gain. So the high-scoring contest we thought we would see at State College has not developed yet. Throwback matchup here in the Big 12, Iowa State and TCU. After a gain of 3 by Montgomery, he'll get the handoff again. Nifty run across the 15. L.J. Collier the stop. It'll bring up 3rd down and short.
Well, and Gary Patterson that time electing to bring Ennis Gaines off the edge again as the unblocked defender as part of the run fit. And that was what caused the last fumble. And Iowa State only 2 of 6 on 3rd down. They just got to get the chains going and get some plays going. They just don't have enough plays. They have a total of 86 yards tonight.
Only points courtesy of a first half turnover. Nolan zips it. Akers has it right at the line he needed to gain. And that will be enough to move the chains. So Landon Akers, a big first down reception. Get Iowa State deep out of its own territory for the moment.
Yeah, that was their 33rd play, and they've rung up 92 total yards.
Quick toss, Milton on the screen. He'll gain 3. Here's a Haku, the tackle. At what point can Iowa State try to target Hakeem Butler a little bit more and perhaps deeper down the field? That has not been open, it seems like, tonight.
Well, they're putting him on the single receiver side right now, so he's going to the top of the screens. It's a 3-by-1, and you know, so you're hoping to get him freed up, singled, but I think you're always going to have a safety shading his way. So he's gonna get double coverage up top.
Montgomery high steps his way to another first down. And there's David Montgomery, first team all Big 12 a year ago, rushed for over 1,100 yards. Drama in the Big 12, my friend.
Yep, and you know what I thought it was? I thought when you have in the midst of a 16-play drive, you start gaining more and more confidence. That's exactly what TCU did, and then Artavius Lynn, of course, laid the ball on the ground, trying to hurdle a defender, and it's cost him, but it's made it an exciting game.
Family weekend, 15 minutes remaining here in Fort Worth, 14-7. Start of our 4th quarter, 14-7. TCU over Iowa State. Cyclones and Horned Frogs in search of their first Big 12 victory. It's David Montgomery through the first level, and that's a first down. Jeff Gladney with the tackle, but Montgomery starting to get lathered up.
Well, you mentioned a moment ago, partner, going to break at the end of the quarter. You know, 1-score game. Now it becomes really a strategic game here, but Montgomery knifing between tackles and getting up the field for yet another first down.
He'll feed 32 again, and he pays dividends again. That's a gain of 9.
Good player. Again, you know, credited by Pro Football Focus as really the hardest guy to tackle in terms of breaking tackles, and the guys he passed to get on that list. I mean, Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, and how about this, Kareem Hunt. I mean, those are all guys that had fantastic college careers.
3 wide on 2nd and short. Montgomery now at 65 yards on the ground. Deep handoff, first down Iowa State. David Montgomery, the junior from Cincinnati, Ohio. First team all-conference. Can catch it out of the backfield. Only a 3-star prospect coming out of high school. And Tom, he's also an Eagle Scout. This guy can do it all.
Yes, he is an Eagle Scout. Captain. He brings it.
1st and 10. Why not? This time corralled behind the line, and Montgomery tackled for no gain.
You know, and talking to Matt Campbell this week, I mean, leadership, character, you know, competitiveness. It's all kind of hallmarks of that Iowa State culture that Matt Campbell's developed. And, you know, when you get that and you're able to have that in a program, players play for one another. And it's not understated at all, the importance of it.
Crony checks in. Montgomery out. Empty backfield for Nolan. Flings it. And a quick grab. A late flag on the field. Hakeem Butler, his third reception. We'll check that penalty, but a pickup on second down.
Pass interference. Offense, number 8. 15-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
And Jones must have picked him.
Yeah.
To spring Butler free.
Yeah, Jones just doing a little extracurricular blocking to free Butler up. And I was going to say a moment ago, Roy, Hakeem Butler, see number 8, watch, he'll get his hands on the defender. Well, it's out of the screen, but he had his hands on the defender, but Butler has earned every yard tonight that he's caught, but still he's stuck on 2 catches for 14 yards.
It's been more of an emphasis this year in college football. And that's a costly penalty. 2nd and 25 instead of 3rd and short. Down the field, Butler through his hands. That's one he'd probably like to have back. The size advantage was there over Tony James, Vernon Scott.
Well, they tried to go back shoulder. They tried to go back shoulder to Hakeem Butler. He was down the field, and it looks though he had him. He was open. If the ball's low and catchable, I mean, they're right at the first down marker, but the ball went sailing over his head. 6th target tonight going to Butler. Only 2 catches. Down at the bottom of the screen now.
Crowd on its feet. 3rd down. Pressure. Nolan escapes. Zeb Nolan. Near sideline. First down, Iowa State. Are you serious?
You want to know what makes a great player? Being unselfish. And Hakeem Butler makes the play of the game with a block that frees up Zeb Nolan to race down the sidelines for the first down.
Banagoo missed a golden opportunity as Ty Summers makes the stop on first down. Iowa State in business all of a sudden.
Well, you know, no one's too big for the team, right? And that's, again, Matt Campbell, what he's putting in place in Ames, Iowa, gives them a lot to be excited about. And right now, Iowa State clanging the chains along the sideline and again knocking on the door for a score against TCU.
Montgomery back in, gets the handoff, stutter step, breaks it outside. Montgomery ushered out around the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Cyclones at the 10-yard line. Montgomery picks up 15.
Well, the center, Colin Newell, and the right guard, Josh Kniffel. I mean, they just get hats on bodies, and then it's David Montgomery, who just is patient through the hole, sets up his blocks, does a little high step around the corner, and just, again, making a great play.
Montgomery, inside handoff, brought down at the 6, and right before that snap, the left side of the line, it looked like one of the Iowa State offensive linemen wasn't feeling very good. That may have been Julian Good-Jones.
You're saying he's not feeling so good. That's a big deal. They're not really deep on the offensive line. I'll tell you what, their offensive line has been dominant this series.
Second and goal. Sean Foster checks in at left tackle. Montgomery straight ahead to the goal line. He'll be stopped just short. Banogu prevented the touchdown for the time being.
And Montgomery,
close.
You know, I'm thinking 32 again. Why wouldn't you? You're near pay dirt. Guy's tough as nails. He falls forward into the end zone.
Straight ahead, dives across, touchdown. Iowa State in business on the road. The extra point to come. And a chance to tie it up.
Well, Roy, 11 plays, 78 yards, 5:40 off the clock. David Montgomery putting an exclamation point on that drive, and that was just Iowa State football, grinded out, making plays, and being unselfish about it. The offensive line just dominant.
Extra point is good. 7:51 remaining. Our new score, 14 apiece here in the Big 12. Tie game in the Big 12 here in Fort Worth. Francis will kick it off for Iowa State.
But if you love football, this one's for you.
And the fair catch called for by Tay Barber. Anderson on first down. Slung down after a 4-yard gain by Willie Harvey and Mike Rose. By the way, David Montgomery, 8 touches, 45 yards on that Iowa State scoring drive, their longest of the night.
Yeah, Montgomery closing in on 100 yards, 20 carries, 96 yards in total. Touchdown, almost 5 yards carry. I mean, he really set his blocks up well.
On second down, Stewart has it. It'll be 3rd and short. Harvey, Eisworth right there ready and waiting.
So again, I go back to one of the keys for TCU on offense. Protect the football. Score touchdowns when they get to the red zone. And protecting the football is so important here because you're playing against a defense that will play you. They'll fill the run gaps. They want to push you out to the sideline, and then their corners are good. They can strip the ball.
Casey McDermott Vi checks in. 98 in purple in a Wildcat set. Alana Lua near side. Shewo first down. Into Iowa State territory, so the jumbo package pays dividends. Braxton Lewis finally brought him down.
Again, when you go Wildcat, Roy, you end up, you really cancel out a run defender because no one's playing quarterback. You got a bunch of blockers. You got 9 guys in the box. 9 guys up front. They're looking to stop TCU, and Alana Lua just takes it and runs for the first down. Just great play.
After a gain of 19, Robinson keeps it. Tries to get to the edge and make something out of nothing. Inside the 45, a gain of almost 4.
Well, and you know, again, that's what Kyler Murray did to them a couple weeks ago. He was able to run the ball effectively on the perimeter, up inside a few times, and it really keeps the defense off balance.
5 wide, empty backfield for Robinson. Former 4-star recruit. Stutter step and a gain of 2.
And a design quarterback draw there. Even though it looks like pass, it's a run play the entire way that time by Sean Robinson. Sold it pretty well. So 3rd down. TCU 10 of 17 on 3rd down tonight. 3rd and 5. Think about it. If you get 4 yards, then you go for it on 4th. But right now, 5 yards is a stretch.
Play action. Robinson floats it deep. Triple coverage, and it's picked off. Braxton Lewis, his 2nd interception of the season. Somebody give that guy a scholarship. He's a walk-on, and he's getting the job done for this Iowa State defense.
Well, Roy, you said it.
On the field is an interception. The intercepting player's original momentum carried him in the end zone where the ball became dead. The ball will be placed at the 3-yard line. First down, timeout.
Yeah, Reggie Smith doing a nice job defining where Braxton Lewis comes down with the ball. He ends up landing at the 3-yard line, or maybe the 2, rolled into the end zone. But here's the problem. Sean Robinson throws into triple coverage. You said it. Triple coverage does not equate.
Tom Ramsey, Roy Philpott. Sean Robinson has thrown 6 interceptions this year, all 6 in the second half, including that one into triple coverage moments ago. Montgomery, A-gap, tumbles his way for a 4-yard pickup.
Ty Summers there to make the hit. And again, why wouldn't you go back to David Montgomery, who's down on the ground hurt?
For an injured player.
David Montgomery in clear pain on the sideline, assisted off moments ago after he ran through the carnage inside his own 5-yard line. He's got 101 yards tonight. Tough to tell where the injury may have occurred. Broadnax fell on top of him.
Yeah, Ty Summers got him down just by an ankle tackle, but I don't think that was it.
Johnson in motion on second down. Stacked up, nowhere to go. The real estate ran out quickly. Banigou helped fill the gap. Garrett Wallow the tackle.
Boy, and Bethley inside, Roy, just ended up going right by the offensive blocker and really redirected the running back that time into the arms of just a host of TCU defenders. And right now that front 4 is really putting a little pressure. Iowa State has to be careful with the ball right here, because this is dangerous territory for Zeb Nolan.
5 of 10 on third down tonight. Nolan with time, zips it incomplete. Butler, watch that pass hit his shoulder pad. Summers was there in coverage. It'll be 3 and out for the Cyclones.
Yeah, another target. Trying to get the ball to Hakeem Butler. 7 targets on the night, only 2 catches, but credit Ty Summers. Boy, I'm telling you what, he is a special player. He will be a wonderful player at the next level. I mean, here's a guy who, high school quarterback, he's played defensive end and played it really well for TCU. Tonight, moving back to linebacker because of injuries and showing his fluidness and his flexibility.
Done from his own end zone, end over end. An Iowa State bounce. Karams out of bounds. And after the interception by Sean Robinson, 3 and out forced by the TCU defense, and Captain America feeling pretty good. Frogs still without the services of Kevontae Turpin. Taking over in Iowa State territory, and Robinson inside the 40. Lawrence White brought him down. Strong pickup on first down, and by the way, approaching 3.5 to play in this critical early season Big 12 game.
Well, the one thing you can do when the ball's in your hand, you can make up for some of the bad plays you made earlier in the game. And Sean Robinson right there doing a great job with his legs.
2nd and 3. Anderson. First down.
Darius Anderson so quick into the hole, and you know, he's almost, he got a little jitterbug, kind of quick hips. I mean, he can put his cleats in the grass and I mean make cuts like nobody's business. He's a hard guy to tackle. The burning clock. Smart right now. They're in field goal range. They're real close right now.
Jonathan Song is taking over the field goal duties. Anderson voids one tackler. Now is stopped at the 35. He's going to lose half a yard. Marcel Spears tried to strip it out of there, and TCU would have none of it.
Well, the referee's doing a great job getting in the pile. They tear his helmet off.
And if you watch 42 and wide, he punches the helmet.
Well, he tried to punch the ball, and I think it just inadvertently hit the helmet. He's just trying to punch the ball out. Iowa State, what you don't want to do if you're TCU, you don't want to take a loss of yardage on a play, and that's exactly what happened.
On second down, quick toss. Stewart has it. Brought down at the 30 by Braxton Lewis. Third down coming up, less than 2 to play in Fort Worth. And the biggest play of the night about to unfold.
Yeah, crucial third down, 3rd and 6. And, you know, Roy, if you don't get it, you're really almost relegated to having to kick a field goal here. It's a little long for TCU. I mean, you really would love to get a first down here and give yourself a fresh set of downs.
3rd and 6. Robinson with time. Has the pocket. Flings it deep, and it's caught by Rager. First down, Horned Frogs. Robinson had the time, went through his progressions, found Rager wide open.
Well, if you're going to throw to anyone on your team, throw to your best player. Jalen Rager running just a crosser, really kind of a square in. His 6th catch tonight, 67 yards.
That's a gain of 19, and now TCU can be as patient as it wants to be.
Yep.
Iowa State with 2 timeouts remaining.
Big time throw there.
Less than a minute to play. Robinson, a little shake and bake. Did the ball come out late?
The quarterback is down by rules, 2nd down.
And
Officials
Robinson
timeout for an injury.
Appears to be slow to get up. Meanwhile, Gary Patterson all the way out on the field to check on his starting quarterback. We'll take a look here.
A little zone read into the middle of that defense, and they stack Robinson.
Fun weekend of college football, as you would expect this time of year.
Yeah, a lot of good conference games, a lot of good matchups, and the good news is Sean Robinson is up off the turf. Well, he made a couple mistakes earlier, but he has redeemed himself. And Michael Collins, the transfer from Penn, happened to play high school football with the right tackle, Lucas Niang. So they have some familiarity in the huddle. Collins spinning it really well at practice the other day.
You were impressed.
Ball here. You would expect that you are in close enough range. You could, I don't want to say anything is an easy field goal these days, but you're well within field goal range. So Michael Collins, you got to get the snap and you got to hand off. But what do you rather do? How about just run wildcat with Olanalua?
Let the hammer go to work.
Well, this may be where Sonny Cumbie said, hey, I don't mind giving Olanalua the ball several times in a row.
He said we got 2 cute in the red zone last year in Ames. Olanalua stacked up short of the 10 here, and a timeout will be called. With 43 seconds remaining, Marcel Spears got there first. On 3rd down, the Cyclones have 1 timeout remaining. With Robinson out, as well as Cavante Turpin, there goes Olanalua. Probing. And brought down at the 11 by Mike Rose. Final timeout will be called. 39 seconds remaining. 6, and there you see 46 in purple, Jonathan Song, the junior from right here in Fort Worth.
Yeah, before the game, Jonathan Song, seemingly strong leg, long of 45. It'll be marked, probably right around. It's been perfect from inside of 29 yards.
Song on the way, and it is good. 17-14, 37 seconds remaining. TCU out in front.
Well, it's all about execution, and that drive was put together. Credit Sean Robinson, really, for putting together a drive that was the winning drive, 9 plays, 36 yards, and You know, Roy, Song's able to drive it through the uprights because the ball got down there. Remember that third down play, 3rd and 6, and Sean Robinson drilled the ball to Jalen Reagor for 19 yards down to the Iowa State 11-yard line. That was the play of that drive and allowed Jonathan Song to kick it through.
Nwangwu and Lang back deep to receive. Lang dropped short of the 16. Jawan Johnson got there. Iowa State out of timeouts.
And that hurts not having a timeout because you can't really get a chunk over the middle of the field.
Pressure up the middle. A short gain on first down. Sheldon Croney ushered out by Garrett Wallow and L.J. Collier applying that heat. Clock stops at 26 seconds.
He's got to keep driving the ball to the perimeter and just got to be careful when the corners sit on it sometimes. They got coverage over the top, so they can gamble.
Cyclones need chunk plays. That pass will be ruled incomplete. Eaton was juggling the football as he slid out of bounds.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The ball was juggled inbounds and caught out of bounds.
So Gary Patterson, the defense, Roy, will have safeties over the top. They don't want to get beat deep here. But the underneath coverage, they only rushing 3, and they're still getting pretty good pressure on Nolan. So they're dropping 8 into coverage, but you got to be careful because these corners can take a risk knowing they have help over the top.
3rd and 8. Nolan heaves it incomplete. Iowa State down to what could be its final play.
Well, and Garrett Wallow, the linebacker, who remember was a strong safety in this defense a year ago, so he can run with any receiver or anyone else on the field. So he's a tough number to crack too. They'll give up the short stuff underneath.
Need 8 yards just to have another opportunity. Empty backfield for Nolan. Flings it, looking for Butler. It's incomplete, and TCU's going to win it. Gladney was right there, ready and waiting. Number 12 in purple has had a strong performance here tonight, the junior from right here in Texas.
Yeah, Gladney has had a spectacular game. He had some nice tackles. He only had 2 tackles on the night, 3 pass breakups, and they were all key breakups. 4th down and 8. Nolan tries to zip it in, but Gladney right there, hands on the ball, knocking it away, preserving a TCU victory.
It was 14-7 a year ago in Ames. It'll be 17-14 this year in Fort Worth. The only difference, TCU finds a way to claim its first conference victory of this season, and the 2-game skid is officially over. Fireworks in Fort Worth, and for Zeb Nolan, a gritty performance. Gary Patterson now with an 8-game winning streak here at home, undefeated this season. Work to do for the Horned Frogs heading into an open date before Texas Tech comes to town.
Well, and credit Sean Robinson, really great down the stretch. 21-29 on the night, 182 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But boy, he led that last drive, and that was the topper for TCU.
Jonathan Song was able to connect on the game-winning field goal. Now 4 of 5 this year. Whiteout conditions at the Carter, and the home team feels good about their first Big 12 victory of 2018. It wasn't easy, and it came at a steep price, but TCU beats Iowa State 17-14. Good night from Fort Worth, Texas, as we take you out to ESPN Goal Line right now.